Hi everyone, I'm Joanne. Welcome to my craft room. I'm going to show you how to make this super cute little pocket, journaling pocket with vellum. I've made these before, but I'm out of them. And when I was making the coin envelopes the other day, it reminded me of these and I want to make more. So this finished size on this one's going to be 4 by 6. And the first one I'm going to show you, which will be a replica of this, will imitate this. It'll end up being 4 by 6. I cut the paper, but then, and the vellum, but then I'm going to show you how to use little offcuts of vellum to make smaller ones, how you need to measure that. All right. So this is using Tim Holtz paper and Tim Holtz vellum, but you can use plain vellum, you know, the clear works just as good. I've done it that way, or any kind of vellum you have that you think would complement it and look well. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of 5 by 8 paper, excuse me, and I'm going to cut. You have to decide what you want as the back. So I'm going to use this as the back. Single-sided paper is fine also. All it'll do is behind the vellum will leave it white, and that looks fine too. I've made them that way. All right, so I'm going to take my 5 by 8 piece of paper, and this is directional. So I definitely want to make sure it's, you know, top to bottom. And around this side, and this side, I'm going to score at 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch. And 1/2 inch. All right, and on this size, the 5 by 8, I'm going to make it a 1.5 inch top. I'm going to score along 1.5 inch. So there is that. All right, so here's my cardstock. And then I'm going to come along and I'm going to fold it where I have the score marks. So right here, right here, right here, and the top. I could use my bone folder and make sure that score is down well. All right, that's that step. And then I'm going to take my scissors, and I have this little square down here. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm going to cut right across where it intersects. So I'm going to cut on an angle and cut right on that line where it intersects. So I'm not going to measure or anything like that. I'm just going to kind of wing it. And then at the top, I have this rectangle. So I'm going to cut on the rectangle line here and then down at an angle. So I'll do that for you. All right, I'm at the intersection line and I'm going to cut it down at an angle. Or I can do it the opposite and cut to there and up like that. All right, so then it's going to fold like this. You'll have that. And then I want to come along and I want to round these 2 corners. Now, I was saying in my last video that I struggle with this corner rounder, and someone suggested that I turn it over and kind of look where the paper is, and it would work better when I can see the paper, because the paper has to be in there correctly. And yeah, she's correct. I think it also helps when the paper is stiff. So that's that. It'll look like this. You can go ahead and ink around this if you like. I didn't on my any of the pockets that I've made like this. I kind of left them clean. All right, so now we have this. Now I like to use, I'm so sorry, double-sided tape. You can use glue, but I'm going to tell you, with me personally, glue and vellum, I don't get along with that combination. I end up with glue all over the vellum, so I like to use double-sided tape. If you don't have it, it's fine. Just use your white glue. This is 1/4 inch double-sided tape. And I'm going to put that all around it. And right through here. All right, on the 3 sides, I have my double-sided tape. I'm going to clean up any extra. It's always easier to go to the back and see where it's hanging off. All right. All right, I'm going to take my piece of vellum, which is 4 by 6. All right, this paper was 5 by 8. This is 4 by 6. And I'm going to cut off just a tiny little bit on the side. And either the bottom or the top. In my case, I'm doing it on the bottom. All right. Because if you don't do that, then it's going to fit exactly in here, and you're going to get a bubble with the vellum. All right. So just a little bit off each, not each side, just one side and the bottom. All right. The first piece that I'm going to release the double-sided tape is the bottom. You want to do the bottom first. So release that. Make sure that's butted up against the crease. And then I want to make sure this can fold. So it's not like over there or anything. So that fits in pretty well. I'm going to butt this up against the bottom crease and press that down. Use my bone folder, and then I have this. All right. And then I'm going to just release the 2 sides. I can do one at a time if I want. And put the sides over. This is such an easy project, and these come out so well. They're so pretty. You can stick it in a journal. I've used all mine with Happy Mail. I've stuffed it with stickers and ephemera and things, and then, you know, gifted it to someone. So the other ones I didn't use like vintage paper. I used real pretty gardening paper that I had, and they just turn out so pretty. I think the combination of the vellum and the cardstock is pretty. So then I have a bunch of circles I pre-cut. On this side, I like to use 1 inch and 1.5 inch for this size. Now you would need smaller when you do offcuts of vellum. So I just have these, and I just want to kind of see what looks nice. I have plain ones. All right, so I think I'm going to use, yeah, I like that dark one. I could kind of do that. That would look pretty cool too. But I think I'm just going to do the dark one here, and then one of these smaller. It's just a matter of, oh, yeah, I like that combo right there. I'm not even going to go any further. I pre-cut a whole bunch, not really auditioning any of them. So I'm going to glue this on because I kind of just wanted to pick with you. Use my glue. I mean, you could still use double-sided tape here if you wanted to. Stick that on. Do I want it to be... I kind of have lines in both pieces. And then it's going to go... So I want to glue this top part. Come on, glue. I have another new bottle ready to go, but I want to really exhaust this one. And then I'm just going to kind of guess where the center is and put it down. You have some wiggle room with the glue. All right, so this is it. Now, if I wanted this to close, I could put some, what is that called? Velcro, little Velcro here and here. I've gotten it at the dollar store, but honestly, I don't mind these. Excuse me. And when I put it under a book a little while, it just stays down. So there's different ways to do an enclosure, but this is just the way that I do it, and it's kind of easy. So there's those two. Love them. Aren't they cute? They're so pretty. Excuse me. The air. So I have these vellum pieces that I pulled out of the Your Creative Studio. And they're really small, so I'm not sure how well this is going to actually work. But I want a rectangle. So I might just cut, I think this might be a little too small. My kitten is meowing out there. Poor baby, he wants to come in. All right, so I may just cut a little piece off of this to kind of make it a little more of a rectangle. But not as small or not as narrow as that. I'm trying to work with something here. So there's a piece of vellum. All right, and then I'm going to pick a piece of this paper that came from the kit. It's going to be white on the inside. Look, it still looks perfectly fine. All right, I'm getting a bunch of trash here. So it's just a matter of what I want for the outside. Which piece I want. I kind of like this one. No, I think I'm going to do this one right here. All right, so all you're doing with a piece that's not, you know, the measure to get these, you know, these 4x6 ones finished, is you're going to measure your vellum. And hopefully, all right, that's not quite 2.5. It's almost by 3 1/4. All right, so here's where I need to write something down. So what did I say it was? I know it was by 3 1/4. And 2, we're going to go with 2.5. It's close enough. So here's the thing. You want a 1/2 inch on each side, not on each, on these 3 sides. And then you decide what you want up here, how much. And since this is a really small piece of paper or vellum, I think I'm going to start with 1 inch. So I want to cut this at, this is about 2.5, so a 1/2 inch on each side. I want it 3 1/2, and I don't think it's really directional. It might be. So we're going to do it this way, 3 1/2. All right, and it's 2 1/2. Well, that was that, 3 1/4, so I want a 1/2 inch on each side, so it's 4 1/4. And I want to add the inch to the top. So 4 1/4. So I want this 5 1/4. All right. And my blade is falling out of my trimmer. Come on, get back in there. All right. Excuse me. I'm very goopy. All right, so I want to do a 1/2 inch score around 3 of the sides. So a half, and a half. And then I said, what did I say? About 1 inch for this, 1 inch for this. All right, we'll see how this works out. So I want to fold it up just like before. Now this is a lot flimsier paper than the cardstock. It should still work. This is one that would be nice to just glue into a journal or something. I am so sorry. I was outside this morning on my porch, and I feel really goopy now. I guess allergies. So I'm going to cut this. This. I know you're sitting here like, is this going to work? Maybe you're not. I am. No, it is going to work. So just don't forget to add that the extra at the top, which if you saw me, I almost did forget to do that. It was a last second save there. So there's that and that. Get my corner rounder. I want to use this one, so I want to turn it over. Make sure it's in there properly. It's not. Let's try this side. I really can't tell even like that. Looking at it like that. The person that told me that tip said this is actually her favorite quarter rounder. Oh, that worked. Let me try this one again. Yep, it worked. Now, if you see, I have a little bit extra there, so I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that off. And same with this side. Sorry. I have a little bit over here too. And I'm just going to cut that up to the intersection there. All right, so we have this. Now this reminds me of a little coin envelope almost. And then I'm going to put the double-sided tape on. Again, you can use glue, but I'm a messy gluer with Vellum. All right, and remember this, I want to take a little tiny bit off the side. I mean, you can do it when you originally cut. You don't have to wait like I did. And a little bit off the bottom. Ah! That is, it's not my blade, it's this right here. So that's not going to work. Let me grab a different piece of vellum. This is pretty much the same. I mean, starting out the same. So 2.5. So that's where I want to cut that. 2.5. And then just a little bit off the side. Yeah, it's my, what the heck? Well, I think it's still going to be okay. I'm going to have to do it off the top. I'll tell you why I think it's still going to be okay, because it's going to get covered here. Yeah, it is going to still be okay. This one probably would have been too. It would just be upside down because this part would have to go down here. So now I'll use this one. All right, there's this. I want to make sure it's down there well. And it's off the fold line here. And this one I can see a little better because it's on white paper. Super pretty. There's that one. How cute. I love the little one. Love them all. I just love this project. I just think they look so good and they're easy. Again, I'm so sorry about that. And I cut a couple little circles from what I used from this in the Your Creative Studio kit. There was journal cards. So I just took one and made some circles, and I did smaller ones for this one. So I used the 1 inch for the bigger one, and I used the 5/8 for the smaller one. Okay, just so you know what size I used to punches. If you don't have punches, just, you know, do what you can do with what you have. So let me see what looks good here. You know what, I think maybe I'll use that, and maybe that. Or do I want to cut this down? No, I think I'm going to use that and this right here. So I hope you like this project. I love your comments and questions. I love to respond to everybody. I'm getting to know some people really well, which is super exciting for me because they're frequent commenters. And yeah, it's a lot of fun to get to know people. And I super appreciate everyone. And one of the last videos I did post was the coin envelopes, but I'll link it down in the description box if you're interested in those. So this is this. A big one. All right. And small ones. Love them. What do you think, guys? I love them. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate each and every one of you. Okay, have a great day, everyone.